farm with guests who have traveled from outside Africa to my Africans in the diaspora. But today, this is not just to the Africans in the diaspora. This is to all of the people living in the Western world who are interested in coming to Africa to establish something to contribute to the agricultural growth and development of Africa. If you fall into this category, please give me the pleasure of introducing to you a very honorable man who has flown all the way from the US, Georgia, to be here. Guys, we are going on a journey this afternoon. Please, let's go together, and we are going to get all the information we need to get you inspired to also go on your journey. Let's go. Maurice, what's your full name though?
Maurice Johnson.
Maurice Johnson. Yes. From Georgia?
From Georgia. No, from Virginia.
From Virginia.
From a small city called Newport News. And my father was in the military. And he was stationed there after he had done a career and had one more child, and I was that child.
Oh, okay. You were that child.
I was that child.
Okay.
But my parents met in Tennessee, outside of Memphis, Tennessee, where Dr. King was killed. And they were both raised on cotton farms.
I see.
And one thing about picking cotton is it's very hard work.
Yes. Manual labor.
It's manual labor.
Yes.
And my parents never stopped talking about how hard and how difficult it was, and how glad they were to have had the opportunity to get off of those farms and get away from that. But my mother in particular kept a lot of her rural traditions, canning food.
Wow, yes.
And
she preserved those traditions.
She preserved those traditions.
Yes.
We had a garden. So my parents kept that country feel even when we were growing up.
Oh, nice. So you virtually grew up in that small town?
A small, not in the country, but in a small town. You said it well.
Wow. Please, you disinfect here and then we enter the farm itself, okay? All right, we've got a lot of guests today, so forgive me. And so, you've given me a bit of your background growing up. Over here, we get a lot of... Guys, he's already been taken away by what he's seeing. Over here, remember, we are having this chat because I want to get your story.
Okay.
So we get a lot of professionals from diverse backgrounds coming here. I just introduced you to Papa Roja or Mr. Roja. He is a banker, or let me say a retired banker, who says he's tired of working for other people.
Wow.
Being in the corporate world. He came with a lot of interesting perspectives. And so when you also appeared, I felt like, wow, I'm wondering which background is he also coming from?
I was a teacher.
Wow.
I was a teacher in New York City for
seen a lot.
For many years.
Wow.
And even having lived in a rural country, a small urban background coming up, I moved to the city after I graduated college. I was a business major.
Okay.
I moved to New York City, wanting to work in corporate America.
Yeah.
And then I realized corporate America just absolutely sucks.
Ooh, I don't know what this day has in store for us. One expression like this or the other.
So I wanted to give back to the community because I had this degree, and I started working with the young people, and I managed to make a go at it for 16 years.
16 years?
16 years.
Close to 2 decades.
So close to 2 decades.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look into the camera and say something to your students for me. I'm sure they wouldn't believe that you are all the way in Ghana.
Mr. Johnson is watching you.
Oh, beautiful. That's a teacher.
Behave yourself.
Mr. Johnson is watching you. Behave yourself. Oh, but I'm so honored to have you here. And you tell me this isn't your first time in Ghana?
No, this is my 6th trip.
This is your 6th time?
6th time. 21 years ago I came here the first time. It was 2003, something like that. Yeah.
Wow. What brought you here the first time?
Handicrafts.
Oh.
Handicrafts. I was looking for something that I could import to America, that I could do that would help develop Africa.
Yes.
And my research led me to think that handicrafts was a good industry to go into.
Yeah.
The problem that I ended up having with handicrafts, even though I visited Bogatonga.
Yeah, up north.
Okay, I visited Bogatonga personally when I came here in 2003.
Yes.
Well, one of the things I discovered was that Native Africans would sell to their relatives in New York City, for instance, that they knew cheaper than they would sell to me.
Yes, that's true.
And when I went to the big buyer like this is the stores you may not know, Marshalls or Target or Joann's or
Yeah.
Hobby Lobby.
Yeah. Big outlets.
Big outlets,
Yes.
they would say you'll never be able to handle the kind of purchasing requirements that we have.
Wow.
So it wasn't such a good project in the end. So I've discovered that you live and you learn.
You
So,
live and you learn.
but
I
I still,
love this experience you're
I still
sharing.
had this desire to help Africa, though.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah.
And so what brought you again and again and again till you are here for the sixth time?
6 times. Ooh, it was a place of healing for me too.
Interesting. You
As a-
are not kidding.
No way.
How?
This is a place of restoration, a spiritual journey. We talk. I was never genetically tested to Ghana,
Okay.
but I felt an affinity. I've never visited any other African.
Connection.
A connection.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. I would start by saying over here there are 5 fundamental pillars we live by and believe if you get these right, you are going to have a successful livestock agribusiness.
Now I saw the stand-up that the presentation we were at earlier. I think health is one of those.
Yes, so you start with your genetics.
Genetics.
Because if you get good genetics, you can milk the best potential out of them.
Okay.
And then your nutrition.
Nutrition, right.
If you get the hugest genetic animal and you starve it, you're still gonna lose.
Okay.
Nutrition is key.
So third was what I
Third
said.
was what you said, health.
Health, right.
Less medication, vaccination. Because let's face it, every now and then you get some health problems. Diarrhea, seasonal
It's gonna
changes.
happen.
Yes, so
Okay.
you have to have some good medications on ground.
Okay.
Number 4 is your farm management, sir.
Wow.
A lot of Africans in the diaspora, because they are not here physically, they leave their operations, their investments in the hands of people who are whether skilled or not. And depending on the expertise you have managing your farm or
Yes,
your
please.
investments, it can go down south or can fly up.
Say that again to the camera. I want them people to really, I really want them to know that it's
think
not
they are
possible.
hosting me.
It's not possible to start a business in Africa
Yeah.
and turn it over to somebody
Yeah.
and expect them to drive it like you would drive it.
Exactly. You have to be there yourself. And we usually hit on the farm management as a key pillar because if you don't get the right expertise, the skilled people, it's going to go down south.
It's going to go down south.
Are we on the same page?
We are. Go ahead with your bad self.
And the 5th pillar over here we talk about a lot is infrastructure, sir.
Infrastructure.
We here, as you can see, we are doing the intensive system of farming. And that is a bit infrastructure intensive because we don't have the luxury of land size to let the animals roam. So you have to invest in putting in the right infrastructure for them. These exotic breeds you will see shortly were flown in from South Africa.
Right. Well, now, what is this? The South African boer breed?
So we have the different breeds. Let me keep that surprise for you for the next 1 minute. When we visited South Africa, some of the farms to do the selection,
Sure.
they are roaming in the wilderness, the mountainous regions, places that are flatlands, you should see them roaming. Here we don't have that. But we found out that naturally these goats love to climb. It keeps them happy, it keeps them healthy. A farmer even mentioned is a way of grooming their hooves naturally. Because as they are climbing the rocks and everything, grooming is taking place.
Right,
Yes.
right.
So we came back home and then led by the visionary leader we have in the person of Fred.
Yeah.
He mentioned, okay, what can we do to create that for them naturally? And so we created raised pens.
I see.
And you see them frolicking up and down, playing up and down. Their mental health is also important, let me put it that way. So Maurice, I tell people one thing about livestock farming is nothing is ever wasted. Everything you see at a livestock farm has a use. The grass you are standing on, it is also feed for the animals.
Sure. So you'll transfer this to it'll be a grazing area.
Yes, I love this particular one because of the way it looks like a lawn. It's giving the aesthetic touch. And at the same time, this particular variety of grass is very soft. So this is a gestation pen. When these 2 babies get gradually introduced to the natural forage, they start to nibble on these things. By the time you let them into the mature forage or pasture,
Ready to go.
ready to go.
Wow.
I mean, you're a teacher. I nearly said you're a good student, but you're a teacher. Every pen of ours typically has clean water and it's a very practical farm. We use all materials available. So we have clean water, we have the hay. You see the heat lamp, it gets a bit cold at night.
Sure.
And remember, these are newborns, less than a week old.
Less than a week old.
Yes, usually we keep them here till maximum 2 weeks and take them out. And so we have the pellet feed, which I'll show you shortly. But this feed, it's the secret to letting your animals be friendly to you.
And you pelletize your own feed?
Yes, it's a self-sustaining farm, remember.
Okay.
We provide our own feed. The 3 basic forms are the natural forage you see. The hay, this hay is made from that green grass you are seeing over there.
Oh, wow.
And then the pelletized feed. We source the soybean, the corn, the other ingredients, and we get the premix, which is the pack of the essential nutrients they need from South Africa, and we just pelletize it with the pellets machine. So sir, when we clear them from here, we move them to my right, which is the mother and baby pen.
Okay.
So let's go to the other pen. But back to your story.
Yes.
Now you started with handicraft and you did your research and you decided to go into what? Livestock farming. From that, how did you end up on this decision?
It was always a plan B. It was always a plan B. So when handicrafts didn't work out, I said, well, perhaps you can investigate buying farmland. But it just didn't materialize because it's very hard to buy land in Ghana correctly.
Trouble
All of
around acquiring.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I came and was unsuccessful, and I would come during the summer times when I would teach. I would come during the summers, but it wouldn't be enough time to effect an honest transaction. So I would go home. It's better to, I was a business major, I'll give people a little bit of advice. It is better to not make a transaction than it is to make a bad transaction.
Wow.
There's bad transaction, no transaction,
Yes.
and good transaction. So remember that. It's better to walk away and keep your money than it is to take a risk.
I want to take you to my most favorite pen right here.
Oh boy, okay.
So remember, the first is the mother and baby pen.
Yes.
That's like the maternity ward.
Yes.
And then this pen, they're all pregnant.
Oh.
All the mamas you see lying
Also
down.
heavy feed. A lot of.
Yes, pregnant. To my right now, you see we have demarcated our pasture.
Right.
It's intentional. The way goats feed, if you don't demarcate it into what we technically call paddocks, they are not going to maximize the use of the pasture. Because they would bite here, they'll move down south, they'll move here, they'll just scatter the whole thing.
Sure.
But today we tell them, all of you guys are feeding here for the next 10 to 15 days.
Okay.
So be here, feed effectively, efficiently. After 15 days, we move them to the next paddock.
Sure.
By the time the rotational feeding is done,
The bacterial load has gone down
Exactly.
and the regrowth has occurred.
it is so nice meeting teachers. They know everything. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I've
You're
done
right.
some research.
Great.
I've done some research. I'm ready for this business.
Thank you. Thank you. So let's go into my most favorite pen. And by the way, you asked about breeds. We have all manner of breeds here at our farm. We recently brought these Kalaharis from
Kalaharis, yes.
Kalahari Red. They are great at giving multiple births. One recently gave us 4.
4.
A first-time mother.
Wow.
Mind-blowing, yes. And people ask, do these animals thrive in the West African climate? See, all these babies were born and bred here.
Sure.
They are doing amazingly.
No
well.
problems.
So they are doing great. Let's come here. This guy has got to be the friendliest animal you would ever meet. Ben, you can come in. Guys, I'm not holding feed right now, so you have to behave, okay? I'm not holding feed.
These are mothers, pregnant.
see?
She's pregnant.
No, he is not pregnant.
He is not
It a
pregnant?
he.
Oh boy.
So, let me tell you something about these guys. Guess their age for me. It's a little game I love to play with my guests.
18 months to 2 years.
Okay, so I would just help you out. That was really close, but all of them are below 2 years, sir.
Okay.
Yes, all of them. This guy you're seeing is just a year and I think 3 months old.
Whoa.
Yeah, so
That's a lot of fat.
imagine when he grows to like 3-5 years. And I love the way they gain weight.
What is harvest age?
For these guys, we usually wait till they are almost a year and a half before we make them coarse. Because if you let the animal just start to coarse so soon, it impedes their growth. You need to let it gain weight, be ready, then it can be going to do reproductive responsibilities. So that leads me to my next point on that artificial insemination project we have embarked on. If this guy dies today, that is premium genetics we've lost. Right. But you see that orange structure there? Yes. It is our artificial insemination lab. We are able to top their semen and then inseminate it into other females.
How often do you tap them?
I have 2 goats over there who are pregnant right now. So hopefully when we get there, you will see things for yourself, and then I will help you out. Are we okay here? So you asked about the breeds. Quick one. This is the Boer goat. It used to be the shyest of all of the animals, but now if we had the feed, they would be here and they would all run towards us for that. This Jerry Kells guy.
How are you? I heard you were friendly.
Oh, he is friendly.
Look at those horns.
That's the Kalahari, right? This, you see the Jerry Kells guy? He is a dairy goat.
No Angora?
No, Angora is too warm here yet. It's too warm.
Okay.
They breed them for their wool, and Angora is too, our climate is too warm.
Okay.
We've not tried that yet. So we have the Kalahari. We have the Savannah. That's beautiful, all white. That's the Savannah. It's also a meat goat, but this guy is a dairy goat. Its female version can produce up to 3 liters of milk a day for you.
Oh, wow.
And so when I tell you we synchronize the breeding, the time its female gave birth, we had our Kalaharis who had also given birth, but their milk wasn't enough for, let's say, the one with the 4 babies.
Wow.
So guess what? We went to the sunning mother and said, your milk is too much. We took some and fed the other ones.
Wonderful.
Same for the last pen with our local goats. Sometimes they also give multiple births, like you saw that one with 2, but their milk isn't so much. So hey, if you have a dairy goat on your farm, that is the use. That is the reason, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna try to pet another one.
Okay, sure, feel free.
Nope, didn't like me.
Climb up. Let's end it in here in our pen. I want you to see for yourself how a typical pen here looks like. So take note of how we've intentionally left some 1.5 inch spaces between the slabs.
For the manure to fall through.
Hygienic purposes.
Right.
When they pee, when they poop,
Uh-huh.
it falls here. And guess what? Your farm workers don't have so much mess to clean because you're already enhancing their cleaning processes for them.
Sure.
This space here can host between 40 and 50 goats. So when you are creating pens, space isn't such a priority because daytime, guess what? They're not even here. Unless it's raining, then they come here. And they are social beings, so they love to even huddle together most of the time.
Y'all heard that.
All of our pens, you would see this.
Salt Lake.
Exactly.
Okay.
In West Africa especially, plastic in the stomachs of livestock is a big issue because they go out into the streets to feed.
Right.
Their bodies are screaming for iodine. They sniff the plastics that once contained food. They end up eating those plastics. So guess what? Plastics don't degrade. It ends up killing them.
Wow.
Because I told you earlier we source local goods, right? We sourced the local goods from one of the communities around. It came pregnant. We did ultra scan. It was carrying 3 babies. Shortly before the month of delivery, it dropped dead. We were all shocked. We opened it up, and if it were a woman, I would say it had fibroid of this size. Guess what? All of it was plastic, sir. It was competing too much at the point with space for babies with nutrition, and so the mother couldn't. It died. That is how dire the consequences can be, Maurice. Yes, so
Wow.
this is a very key component to have as a livestock farmer.
Sure.
And it's durable. 10 kg, 5 kg, you just get it for your animals. No age limit. From a week and above, you see them licking it. It supplies their minerals, deficiencies and all of that. It takes care of all of that. Now let's stand here, and here gives you a good overview of the farm.
Sure.
This is the kids pen, the baby pen. You see the feed? And we are intentional about everything here because this is a kids pen, so feed is always a constant. The life stage will determine the kind of feed you give it, the attention you give it, even the care and medications.
Now let's talk about the 4 stages. Then there's pregnancy,
Yes, the lactating stage.
lactation,
Yes,
the kid growth stage, and
the adult
and maintenance or growth. Okay.
Yes, you get it. So that's it. These 2 Boer goats, their sibling is over there also nibbling on the hay. They are 5 months old now, born and bred here. Their mother gave birth to them here. So it answers that question of, do they thrive? Usually that's like the biggest fear of farmers who come to purchase within West Africa. But now, when I say this, I say it with confidence because we have Nigerian farmers who are doing great over there in Nigeria. The last consignment we sent close to 24 to Nigeria. So that is a kid's pen. The last is a local pen.
Okay.
Most of the females, they are pregnant. Some of them, we have artificially inseminated them with the semen of these guys.
Artificial. You don't do natural insemination?
That is it. That is the natural insemination. We've not advanced to freezing the semen. Okay. So here we are able to collect it naturally, fresh, and then put them on some special programs to get them ready, because remember, what they are carrying is going to be different. And so because of that, we are waiting to see how that turns out. And that's why when we say it's an experimental farm, it's a model farm, it's a research farm, we mean business. All of this you are seeing is on less than 4 acres of land, sir.
Get in touch with these people, contact them, WhatsApp them, call them, email them, and do business with them quick, fast, and in a hurry. This is the real deal.
I'm so honored you came. I'm so honored. I would want to end the tour here, but if you have anything to say,
I just said it. Please call them, email them. Her name is Nadia.
Yes.
Fred is the general manager, the CEO.
Yes.
I feel at home. I'm telling you, they've made me feel welcome. I am a naturally chatty person, and they overcame my shyness and my chattiness all together. I'm telling you, get in touch with these people, do business with these folks. This is where to come if you're interested in making money.
Guys, Maurice from Georgia has said it all for me, and I couldn't be more glad that he made it all the way to the Sementia Learning and Development Farm. What are you waiting for? Come and get inspired, okay? Maurice, it's been my pleasure having you here, sir.
Oh, I need more than that.
Thank you so much. Guys, it is all love. I just received a lot of love, so let me give some out to you. So we come your way again next time with another impactful video. Keep getting inspired. Do like, comment, and share it. A lot more people are looking for channels like this. So do us a favor and help spread the word. Mwah. Bye-bye for now. Thank you.